And we are live.
Live.
Okay, we are live with BAMFs Aloud, and this is our third talk. And I am Danny from Danny Reviews Things. And don't laugh at me, Jamie. I'm like not functioning. Okay, I'm Danny from Danny Reviews Things, and I'm also half of Books Are My Fandom. Having a time. Jamie, can you please stop laughing at me? You're making
Sorry.
me like.
Hi, I'm Jamie, and I'm from Books and Ladders, and I'm the other half of BAMF, and which we call leotards because it looks like leotards when you
call it
put
leotards.
the Well, that's good enough for me.
Okay, so this is our third show, and in this one, so the first one we talked about, well, bookish stuff. Second one we interviewed,
Alexis.
My God, my head.
Alexis Bass, author of What's Broken Between Us and Love and Other Theories.
And then this time we are going to be answering questions. We've got some great questions for you, or for us, from you. And also talking about some bookish news that we've noticed. And also, we have like so many books around us. I feel like God, books. Actually, I forgot to do that thing where like people can see me. People can't see me. So I've got like books around me. So yeah, you're gonna see like lots of books. Books are good. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be talking about. So Jamie, I think you got some questions for us?
Yes, we had some questions from the audience. We actually had 5, which is only this many, not this many. So we had 5 questions. But we're going to answer a couple now. We're going to answer a couple later so that we can spread it out a bit. And then if you have questions that you want to ask us, you can also do that on the hashtag, which is hashtag BAMFs Aloud, BAMFS ALOUD. And we'll answer those throughout our little broadcast as well. And we're really giggly today, apparently. So, okay, Danny, what's our first question?
Hold on. I have a situation. Okay, so the first question is from Chelsea, from @BFT Reviews on Twitter, and she wants to know what our dream houses look like. So you can start with that one.
Yeah, my dream house would be pretty modern, and I really like squared off things. I like when things are neat and tidy, which I think is pretty obvious.
We should not like together.
And it doesn't matter what's inside as long as I have a library. With like my library would have in the center one of those really big globes that like sit and they have like this wooden circle around them and you like turn them and it's on wheels. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I had one of those growing up.
Oh. Well, that's what my dream library would have. I just have like the tiny one like that. So I want like a really big one. And if you've watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I would also have one that you can open up for alcohol to be inside.
That's genius.
Yeah.
Okay, so first off, I am not a tidy person. You don't want to see what the state of the guest bed next to me is. Yeah, there's still stuff from like moving 2 months ago just strewn across it, and like all my stuff from Yelk is still in bags there, and then some of it is around my desk. Actually, no, I think I put most of it is on the bed. I put it all on the bed. But okay, so my dream house, I would probably have a kind of like sort of Tuscan like houses. I want my house that my mom lives in South Africa, so she's not allowed to sell it, even though she's now living there alone, which is sad, but I told her she's not allowed to sell it because I'm a really horrible, selfish person. It's got like tall ceilings, it's all warm, earthy colors, and like these like really soft, comfy leather couches. I would also have a library But okay, I've thought about this really intensely. I would also have like my own private cinema. I would need it. My own private cinema with a karaoke machine. Like that, I would need that. And then I would also have like an animal room, and I'd have like a snake and maybe some hamsters and a bunny and like,
okay, if you had
away
snakes
from
and
the snake.
hamsters, yeah, like not a
Like,
good combination.
keep the snakes and the hamsters apart from each other, but like I have a thing for snakes. I held a snake back last month in South Africa, like this big snake. Oh, so cool. I also touched owls. They were really, really nice and sweet, but apparently owls are really dumb. They're actually, we see them as these wise creatures. They're stupid. They are. Like, they all they know is food.
Well,
everything is about
know,
food. I mean,
so.
like, yeah, true. So, yeah, I'd have an animal room, a cinema, a library, and ideally mine, I don't want it to be really bright because I would not feel comfortable. I like really chilled out, floppy, slightly dim lighting, just really, I don't know, relaxed and earthy and warm. With sunshine and a nice big garden with like lounging chairs. I need to be rich.
Yeah, like dream houses, but we're never going to be able to afford them.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so question 2 is from Jess, who is Princessica OB on Twitter, and she asked what the key to co-blogging is.
Oh, well, we know this pretty well because we have 2 blogs together now. And I mean, like for us at the moment, I think you organize most of BAMF. Like you organize it, and I just sort of like chip in. I'm like, let's do that. I'm gonna write that. That's my review. Here, dump it in. But you keep it running, whilst with the
leotards.
With leotards, with Love in a Time of Feminism, because I'm like the romance person. I've sort of been like, well, I'm not gonna make Jamie do that. I kind of started it with like on a whim, and you just sort of were like, okay, cool, fine, I'll do it. So it's like, okay, well, I guess I should take care of this one. But I think what helps, so we have that division, we fell into this division of labor, and we don't really fight over it either, which is really great. We sort of have like, and we both offer each other help to see, but like you are so with it that I have like nothing to do on BAMF because you do everything before I even think about doing it. So
yeah, I would say like one of the big things for us is that we talk a lot though.
Yeah.
And like even, yeah, but I mean, even though like, you know, we definitely, like we have a division of labor, you did all the stuff for NA August, and I've set up the debut feature for next year, but like we still do stuff together and we still run things by one another, and we don't just like say, oh, hey, this is happening now. Like we talk about, okay, what books do we want to read and what do we want to do? Like you have to talk. If you don't talk to somebody, they're like, don't bother.
And we genuinely like love each other. So yeah, we're constantly talking. Like the first person I message in the morning is Jamie, even though she's still sleeping. She's like talks to me while I'm sleeping, and then I wake up in the morning and I see all her messages, and I'm like, okay, well, I respond to all of these. Throughout the day, we're always checking in with each other. We are genuinely best friends. So, oh, you got a happy birthday message. Oh,
I do. Oh,
yeah.
Thank you. Danny's checking on YouTube and I'm watching Twitter. So
yeah. But yeah, so so it's Jamie's birthday, guys. Yay. She doesn't want me to make a big deal about it, but like I'm a birthday person, so it's tough cookies, man. Tough cookies. I was gonna say something else there. I mean, are we doing swearing today?
Did it begin with an S and end with a hit?
Yeah, basically. I mean, I wonder if anyone's like against me swearing. I swear a lot, guys. I'm really sorry. I'm not like this pure innocent person that you see in front of you. There's totally not alcohol in this glass here. Okay, but anyway, what was I saying? So we talk every day.
Talking. We talk.
We
That's
talk
a big
about
thing.
books. We talk about not books. We talk about who we want to like murder today, and
Tomorrow.
but yeah, it just helps. I think if you're gonna do something like co-blogging, you have to do it with someone that you genuinely want to work with. I guess you can't just do it with like. Personally, I wouldn't do it with someone that I kind of sometimes talk to online. And probably also not with most friends. The thing is, I think we've got very complementary personalities, because I sort of like come up with ideas and like throw them out, and then you actually run with them, and and you're so organized. Well, I'm like, let's do this, and you're just like, okay, fine, let's I'll organize
like
it. So
this video thing was Danny saying, this sounds like such a good idea, and me being like, but how do we, like, logistics, how do we actually do this?
And then I'm like, I bring the enthusiasm. That's basically me in real life. I'm just like, oh, that sounds cool, let's do it. And you're like, okay, fine.
Well, it's more like, okay, fine, but also how do we do this? Like, we need to have a little bit of time set aside, especially since it's happening like while we're in school.
Yeah, like we started it just as we started master's programs, which was probably not the smartest thing that we've ever done, but who cares? Oh, just so I have like a question here in the YouTube thing.
Okay.
And I think you'll like it. Okay. This one is from Malika. I think that's how you say it. I'm really sorry if I got it wrong. We don't get names right on this.
No, we couldn't even get Alexis right the last week.
So she says, you're Katniss. Who is the one person you'd volunteer for?
Like, other than you? Like, can I say, like...
I'm like that's the obvious answer. Like, I would volunteer for you and you'd volunteer for me, I think. Or we would like kick the guy out and go together and kick ass. And then like escape.
But we would also be like Katniss and Peeta. We would like take the berries for one another. Which, spoiler, sorry if you haven't read or seen the movie. But... sorry.
Oops. Like, if you haven't read it, what are you doing? Yeah, it came out ages ago. I haven't read Harry Potter.
Other than you, it would probably be my closest in real life friend, whose name is Amber.
What? Friends besides me?
I know, it's shocking. I have one other friend, but that's it. I'm sure people are like, oh, why aren't you saying your parents? Like, come on, they're old. Like, they can just go. I'm young. I still have life to live.
See, for me, it's like, it's pretty easy. Besides you, I would definitely volunteer for my little brother, because he's scrawny and he wouldn't last long in the wild. He's a computer geek. I mean, like, I'm a computer geek, but I'm at least, like, he is so, like, a gentle spirit. He's so nice, and he would just, like, be like, fine, people, just take my life. Just be peace, man, peace. I don't want to get in anyone's way. And I'd be like, nah, I'm coming for you. I'm going to kill you. So, yeah. Okay. I'm going to calm down now.
I don't have siblings, so that's not where my mind jumped.
Okay. So like we did on the first show, we're doing our top 5 releases countdown throughout the show. And we have quite a few great books coming out next week. So there are a lot of books coming out. Like, this month has been like release month. So we had to cut it down, and that's tough. So starting with number 5. Like, I lost my steam there for a sec. Number 5, Jamie, what is number 5?
Number 5 is Every Hidden Thing by Kenneth Opel. So he was at the... I'm pretty sure it's Opel, because, when I met him, that's how he said it. So I'm going with how
you know.
If he's wrong, then whoa. But so I was lucky enough to meet him at the Frenzy Presents event in Toronto from HarperCollins. So my advanced copy is signed. I'm trying to open to it to see. So you can be jealous. So I'm going to be reading it this week because it comes out on Tuesday, and I haven't gotten around to it yet. But it's tagged as Romeo and Juliet meets Indiana Jones. So I'm like super duper excited. There's these two teens who meet because their fathers are archaeologists or like early archaeologists, and they dig up dinosaurs, and it's just like, ah.
I just heard like Indiana Jones, so I was like, yes, I am down for that. I
Yeah,
love
like
Indiana Jones.
I'm really excited. You can watch my updates. I'm going to do them on Goodreads. So if we're friends on Goodreads, then you'll be able to see them. If we're not, you can add me. If you look under the hashtag follow Jamie 2.0, you can find my Goodreads. Yeah, I do a hashtag for how to follow me because it's just easier. So,
Okay, so
Danny, what are you reading? Because I just spoke, so you should speak. What are you reading?
okay, of course I have all of the. Oh wait, no, I have it. I have my book that I'm reading. Okay, I've got two things going on at the moment. So one of them is an audiobook, and I'm like an hour from. I'm past like the end of the major action, and now it's kind of like tidying up the end bit of The Clockwork Princess.
I was like, aren't you reading the Cassandra Clare book? But
yeah, the final book in the Infernal Devices, and so I'm almost done with that. Like I know the end has happened, the action's been resolved, so now it's just like everyone making nice and stuff. I just want to say, I was not upset until like after the action ended, and this whole bit with someone saying goodbye, and I was like, I actually was like walking home from the train station crying because this person is the love of my life.
Danny, didn't you read? Have you read the Shadowhunter Academy stuff yet?
No.
Oh, okay. If you do that, then you won't be as sad. And she's coming out with like a, I don't know. I guess it's like a sequel before the epilogue series about like the other Herondale children from the 1800s or whatever time period it's in. Like there's a sequel-ish to that series.
Does she? So basically, she's only ever gonna write Shadowhunter stuff.
Yeah, that's all that's gonna get written.
I don't know if I have the energy to read everything about Shadowhunters. I just want this person. I think he didn't deserve anything. He didn't deserve anything that happened to him. He was my precious soul, and I love him. And why did that have to happen to him? Okay, but like, I'm always done with that. The other book I'm reading is More of Me by Catherine Evans. I've got a blog tour post on this day next week. So next Saturday, I've got a blog tour post, and so I wanted to like it's going to be a guest post, but I wanted to read the book because I wanted it to be sort of an interactive guest post between me and her. Okay. So in the book, every year on Tiva's birthday, have you ever watched the movie, I think it's Evolution? It came out like 10 years ago or something.
Who's in it, Danny? Like, that's not helpful.
Aliens, come down to Earth, okay? You should have read this or watched it.
But I don't know who's in it. I could have watched it. I don't know.
I don't remember people's names. But anyway, the guy from X-Files, I think, is in it.
Oh, then I have obviously watched this movie.
Okay, but like in there, the aliens, when their way of reproducing is to split off into two copies, right? And it's not just at the cellular level, it starts there, but then the organisms, as they get bigger and more complex, that's like they still do this like splitty thing. So what's weird is that at the on her birthday, one version of her stays at that age, whilst a new one sort of splits off from. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
It's like a weird concept that I don't understand it. Like I have so many questions right now. You can tell I'm not that far in because I started it this morning. But it's weird, and I'm like confused. But at the same time, there's so much like real, like I haven't actually been to school in England, but from the stories I've heard, this is quite a good representation of real British school life experiencing. And it's kind of, I don't know if it's sort of like magical realism because it's very, very contemporary, except for like this weird thing where she splits into two people on her birthday. And in her house, there is a version of her that is permanently 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then her. And it's 6 months until her birthday, and she doesn't want to become known as 16. She wants to continue living her life. She doesn't want to have to give up all of the stuff that she's worked for another version of herself.
What if this happens to me today, Danny? What if I split off and become somebody else?
Then you could be like permanently 23.
But nobody likes you when you're 23, Danny.
Why not?
Because Blink-182 said so.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that's old. Showing your age, man. Okay.
Do you want to know what I'm reading?
Yeah, I want to know what you're reading. I'm going to shut up now.
2 books right now. The first is As I Descended by Robin Talley, because my pre-order came in the mail to me on Thursday before I left Windsor.
Yay!
I'm 50 pages in, so I'm at the beginning of chapter 3, and I'm like really enthralled with it so far. Like, it's really creepy, there's lots of ghosts, but these characters are also like really ruthless. We get into their heads, and the one girl's like, I hate everybody. I'm like, same girl. Like, it's like, I'm really enjoying it, and I can't wait to see, like, it's a Macbeth retelling if people don't know. So I'm really excited to see how it plays out, to be honest. Like, and Robin Talley is a great author, so when I went to the Rochester Teen Book Festival, she was talking about how she tried to take some of what was already there and mix it with like her own story. And she's like, so, you know, I couldn't exactly make it perfectly parallel to what happens in Macbeth, but like the main themes are there. So I'm like, here for it. And I'm also starting It's Not Me, It's You by Stephanie Kate Strom. I'm on page 2, so you know, I'm really far in this one, but it's a cute contemporary novel where this girl, our main character, tries to figure out why she can't keep a boyfriend. And we actually are interviewing Stephanie, and you'll be seeing my review on October 21st, and it comes out on October 25th. So I'm going to get this done this weekend, and then I'm mailing it out to Danny. So
yay!
More mail from Jamie.
Because I got a box this morning. Was it this morning or was it yesterday morning?
It was yesterday because we got really distracted.
Yes, I was doing my work. I had finally sat down to do some studying, and then I got distracted.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Danny, what's coming up next week? What's release number 4? I said that really awkwardly. I'm so sorry. What's release number 4?
Okay, so release number 4 is one that we're kind of like unsure about. And that is The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis. I mean, that's like the easiest name I've pronounced on this show, I'm pretty sure. And like saying that now, I probably screwed it up. It's probably
you didn't.
Bizarre. Okay,
you're good.
Okay, so this one, it sounds interesting and it sounds different because the main character, Alex, she saw her. So her sister was murdered in the past, and the killer walked free, and I think now she's got like anger issues, and she gets really violent. And I'm curious to see how that plays out in the book. There have been, like in the early reviews, there have been basically this book should come with a giant trigger warning. So it's an odd one. Like I'm really curious, but also kind of nervous.
Yeah, I've read a lot of Mindy McGinnis books, and she kind of has like a pretty central theme. Like if you look at it's Stacy, so Book Junkie on Twitter. If you look on Goodreads at her review of it, you'll see what we're talking about, but like trigger warning. But I would say that that's kind of like a theme in Mindy McGinnis's books. Like in the two that I've read, there's been some sort of instance of that. And I think she does a really good job of handling it and making sure that it's needed and necessary. And like, that's something that I'm like obviously really passionate about. If you look at our BAMF review for The Replacement Crush, you'll know that. But I think it's always been pretty needed in her stories in a sense. Like, as bad as that sounds, it's not like she's just put them in there as a whim, like on a whim. It's always been some sort of character necessity. Wow, that
which
sounds...
is really important for you.
Yeah,
I mean, it's important for me, but it's even more, it's like really, really important to you for that to be necessary.
And like, we're being very vague about it because we don't want to spoil, or like not spoil, but trigger people. But yeah, if you look at Stacy's review, you'll see what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, I have another question.
Okay, I'm ready to answer.
This one is from Sarah.
Okay.
And see, these questions are so good for you. I think you're going to really like this one.
Yay.
Are there any series that you won't read, but other people really love?
So, like, I wouldn't read it, but other people love it?
Like, hyped up series that you refuse to read?
Oh.
So, Jamie, should we get some popcorn ready?
There's only one that I'm like, I haven't read it, haven't touched it, don't plan on it. And it's the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard. I'm sorry, I don't know how to...
We don't know how to say names on this show.
Like Graveyard, but like not, and so oops. But and it has nothing to do with like her or anything. It's just the plot. Like, I really don't like stories where it's like, I'm so special and different. And I'll tweet out a link to Joey from Thoughts and Afterthoughts review of it and Glass Sword. And like, I just want him to continue reading this series, even though he hates it, so that I can continue reading his reviews of it. And even before I was like a blogger or really heavy in Goodreads, I wasn't gonna read this. Like, it didn't pique my interest. But like, there's other series that I've read and stopped. But we don't need to get into those. Go ahead, Danny. What about you?
I don't know, like, I don't have really strong, like, I won't read this feelings about most things. I think I'm not that interested in getting hooked into contemporary things a lot of the time, I guess. I'm okay. I can't name any series specifically.
Oh, really? I could probably name one for you.
What's that?
No.
No, you have to say it now.
I don't think you're ever going to read Truth Witch.
Well, no, you kind of like here I am losing friends. I actually have Truth Witch because of a subscription box, and it's just sitting there on my shelf. And I have like all of the swag for it, and I had a really interesting encounter at Yelk. I was sitting around a table before Yelk at this like coffee meetup thing, and we were talking about books that were really hyped that we probably weren't going to read. So I said Truth Witch. And I said, well, you see, my friend read it and she said it wasn't that good. And so I was like, well, if she doesn't like it, I probably won't like it. And then the person sitting next to me turned out to be one of the street team. Like the leaders, street team leaders. I was like, so.
And I'm sure there's people who say that about like Air Awakens or now The Alchemists of Loom, even though we're both like really heavily into that. Like, oh, I'm never gonna read that because it's so hyped by people like us. And I'm okay with that. Like, you don't have to read it.
No, like, I'm chill with people having their own opinions. But yeah, it was just a very odd moment because she was like, her friend was sitting next to her and said, oh, that's funny because she runs one of the street teams. And I was like, oops. Yeah, but I think in general, like a lot of contemporary books, I don't read that many sort of like heavier stuff. As heavier contemporaries, I like to read mostly fantasies and dystopians, and then I'll go into the contemporaries for like really light, fun stuff as a sort of palate cleanser. Someone told me to call it a palate cleanser. Now I can't.
Alexis did. Yes,
Alexis did. Yes.
Alexis ruined our hearts, and then she gave us some pretty good advice. So
yeah. So yeah, I will read contemporaries, but they tend to be, unless like Jamie says this is really good,
Speaking of, you know which ones you should read and review on leotards? Did I mention I Love You series by Estelle Mascame?
The Dimily?
Yeah, those ones. I think you really like them.
Someone told me to read those.
It was probably me, because I really liked them. And like, they're very heavy romance, but I think you'd like them.
No, I think somebody else did, but then I saw that you had reviewed them on Goodreads, and I was like, whoa, Jamie likes something that's romance?
I really like them.
I was like, okay, I'm going to add this to my TBR, because if Jamie likes it, then I'm going to like it. So you're like my taste tester.
You're like a queen, and I'm drinking your wine.
I am a queen. It's a shame I don't have my glass that says I'm a queen in here.
The one I sent you? Did I send you?
No, this is one that my brother got engraved for me.
Oh.
It says Queen of the Daniverse. I do have a wand that a like 7-year-old gave me.
Wow, that's nice.
I took care of her bunny for her while she and her dad were at Disneyland. So she brought me a whole lot of Rapunzel stuff. I really love the Rapunzel movie. The Tangled.
Tangled?
Oh man, I love Tangled. I have a squishy chameleon in my bag.
Oh, really?
Not a chameleon, but I have it because I like the chameleon from Tangled. It's a little stress thingy. Tech companies have stopped making balls and are now making animals. So I also have a stress penguin somewhere.
Okay,
but
we have another question from Twitter from Alfie Chawaski. I am so sorry. She's Phoenix Alfie on Twitter, and she wants to know how you make sure another reader's review doesn't skew how you see a book. And I think that's pretty. We're literally just talking about that. Danny's like, oh, I see Jamie liked it. I read it.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think sometimes I do. So sometimes I'll be like, oh, Jamie doesn't like it, then why should I bother? Unless she doesn't like it because it's heavy on elements that I like and she doesn't.
Like romance?
But other times, yesterday I finished reading Alchemist of Bloom. Was it yesterday or the day? I don't have a sense of time anymore. I knew that really high, but I didn't read your review specifically because I wanted to go into it blind.
Mm-hmm.
But other times, okay, so like maybe I think people have started learning this about me anyway, but I don't give a damn about spoilers. I will read the end of a book. I already knew what was going to happen to Jem and Will and Tess in the Infernal Devices before I started reading. So I knew what was happening, and I was like fighting against it, but fine, whatever. I don't care about spoilers. So reading someone else's review doesn't usually matter, but sometimes I will deliberately ignore a review, except for maybe saying, seeing if it's worth me starting. If it's a book that we both have to read, so say it's our BAMF review book or something, then, I mean, you always finish everything before me. So you'll probably be like, oh yeah, I liked it, or there were bits, but like, I think you're pretty good at not going into the details anyway, because you do care about spoilers more than I do. Yeah. So you don't want to spoil it for me unless I'm like, spoil it. And it's the same for you. You also tell me to spoil things for you when you don't plan on reading it anyway.
Yeah, like Torch. You spoiled Torch for me because I didn't care. I think the only time that I say like, oh no, I didn't like this, and then vent about it, as if I know you're not going to read it too. But I look to people that we share pretty similar opinions. So it's like Alyssa Sussinen. So I don't know. That's her Twitter handle. It's something like that. But her blog is Eater of Books. We share really similar views and tastes on books. So I actually look to see what she's rated it before I go into it. Not necessarily reading her review, but seeing what she rated it. Because if it's like 2 stars or less and I was on the fence about it already, I don't even bother. Like, it's not worth it. I have too many books to read before like the end of the year that I can't waste time on books that I'm not going to enjoy anyway. But honestly, I don't really care if people say like, oh, this book is great, or oh, this book sucks, because I'm going to read it and talk about my feelings towards it anyway.
Yeah,
and
I think we're both really opinionated and stuff, so it doesn't, if we don't like it, we're gonna say we don't like it, and we DNF, like, especially now. I think you've encouraged me to DNF more. And now we are both like DNF wizards.
Yeah, me and my Black Sheep squad got that down. But yeah, I have other friends, Danny. I have a whole squad.
No, you don't. Why do you keep saying this? It's only me, you and me forever and ever and ever.
No,
one else.
We're like quasi lovers.
You've upset me now.
I'm sorry.
I hate you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm petting your face. So, Danny, what's the best book you read this week? Because we're already at 37 and we're only at a recent.
Sorry, guys. Like, we're just like talking.
Yeah.
Okay, so best book I've read is The Alchemist of Doom. I haven't read that many books this week, but yeah, this was the best that I did read. It took me a long time to read it, and I feel really bad that it took me so long to read it, because I started it before university. I started it like at the beginning of the month. It took me at least 2 weeks. I can't remember when I started it, but it took me at least 2 weeks. And that has got nothing to do with the book. It's all me and being like all about university. Don't ask me to repeat that. Exactly. I couldn't concentrate, so I ended up reading a bunch of, I read like a middle grade book, so The Rat Prince, and I read a bunch of contemporaries. I just could not focus, but this book is so good, and you can tell that I like the Air Awakens series, because I've got one of the covers there, and I'm putting up Fire Folding's cover over there on that wall later on.
Later on
so
today?
No, I just don't care today. I need to get the crap off my bed, okay? Like, there's so much stuff, including the picture. I don't even know where the picture is anymore. It's like buried.
Okay.
Okay,
continue.
Okay, so so Alchemist of Doom by Elise Kova. I finished the book. It was amazing. What I really love about Elise Kova's writing is that she is so good at building a world. It's just totally different, and the characters are just like this time. Like, so in Air Awakens, they were actually people, but this time they're not really people. They're like humanesque.
Yeah, they're
you've got great people and you've got dragons, but they're not dragons. It's just, you have to read the book when it comes out, because it's really cool, and there's magic and there's steampunk. I don't read a lot of steampunk. I think I've read like 1 steampunk book in the past, maybe 2, and I don't remember them. Did
you know that technically the books you're reading right now, Clockwork stuff, is steampunk?
Yeah, but it's not.
Technically. I know. Technically.
Technically, it's got cogs, but I think I mentioned it in one of my reviews that it was all kind of lip service to steampunk and not actually steampunk. This has got, like, in this one, it's all really integrated with the plot and the world. It all makes sense.
Yeah.
Whilst, and it's sort of explained how it works and stuff, whilst in the Infernal Devices, it's there, but it's not explained. It's just It's like, take the world, plop, the steampunk. But yeah, so it's really good. I really loved it, and I'm really relieved because I'm like a vicar, so it would have been really bad if I didn't like it, and someone would have probably gotten my spot if I didn't like the book. But I just want to be like, the Alchemist of Loom. I'm one of them. I'm an alchemist. Yeah. Also, my name in this book is not my name. Basically, the Vicar Alchemist is mentioned in the book, and I was really sad when it wasn't my name in there. I was like, it should have been Danny, man. I was like, do I complain to Elise, or do I just tell her like I was mentally swapping the names out? I'm well, like, if she's watching, that's not her name. It's clearly Danny.
Okay, the best book I read last week was The Graces by Laura Eve. I would say, like, with an asterisk beside this, because every book I read last week, I rated 3 stars. So, or less. Like, there's some that I rated less. So I would say that there's an asterisk because it's, like, best book, but, like, still. But, like, it was really interesting. It's just poorly paced. Like, it's a huge book. It's over 400 pages, and it needed to be like 250, 300. So I think that was part of the problem for me. But it was still like cool magic. There was a pretty good plot twisty thing that happened, and like the ending was cray cray. Like, I'm pretty excited for the sequel to come out. So hurry up, 2017.
There's so many books coming out in 2017 where I'm just like, give it to me now.
Have you checked Stacking the Shelves? Because I have some from 2017 that you're gonna like squeal over and be like, stabby stabby.
Yeah, but like if you get them now, you can read them and then send them to me, and that's fine.
No, because they're e-arcs, so yeah. I have Fire in the Woods #3 sitting in my inbox.
No, why don't I have that? I read the first 2 books. Why don't... Sexy alien! Why? I hate you. That's okay, because I have a book that comes out next month, but still you wanted it and I have it, so no. Iron Cast. Look at it. Yeah. Be jealous. It's mine.
Also, just as an FYI, you need to put it up higher. No, like higher on your face. Yeah, there.
I have to like go like. I'm trying. I'm failing. Okay.
We're interviewing Destiny. I'm not even going to try to pronounce her last name.
Soraya. Oh, I don't know. I give up.
For Pro Talks in October, so you'll be able to learn more about Iron Cast next month on BAMF. Just as an FYI.
Okay, so Jamie, well, it's been a while. Number 3 on our top releases countdown.
Number 3 is Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. I think I actually got that one right. So we're reviewing that on the 26th on BAMF, and we're actually going to be talking about it more next week during our broadcast, because we're going to give you our top 5 reasons why you should read it. So if you pan over to Danny.
Here it is.
Yeah.
So Jamie sent it to me, and I need to actually like read it. So
before next Saturday. But so it was a really good historical fiction novel. It left me on the edge of my seat. I talked about it today on Twitter under hashtag Jamie Rexer faves. Because
how many hashtags do you have?
Lots. It's just an easy way for people to check things after. But I talked about how like you feel really immersed in the world. Like I would finish reading like a chapter or something and go to get like a glass of water and be like, I'm not in historical London right now. And the description of the food made me so hungry. And like,
wait,
it was just
British
so good.
Food that's good?
No, it was Indian food. And I was like, now I want to go for some Indian food.
Side note, one of my team members in my course is Indian, and today she was like, "Oh yeah, we don't have to always study here. You can come." She's like in her 30s or 40s or something, and she was like, "Yeah, just come to my house and I will cook for you." And I was like,
That's
it
nice
was a
of her.
pretty good like offer. I was like, yes, real Indian food, not just takeaways, guys, not just takeaways. Sorry,
So
I interrupted. You go
that's
back to
okay.
what you said.
So yeah, next week we're talking about it. On the 26th, which is the Monday after our chat, we'll have our review up. So thank you again to Hatchet Book Group for sending me, and I guess technically Danny, although I sent it to her, the advanced copy so that we could review it on BAMF. We're very appreciative. Hey Danny, I wonder what happened in the bookish world. Can you help me out with this?
Okay.
Question marks.
Okay, so one of the headlines I spotted this week was that Egmont has bought a YA thriller with a disabled narrator. So the narrator is a 14-year-old girl. Yeah, with cerebral palsy. And I think she is told, so people sort of just see her for her disability and they tell her things, not expecting her to really retain it, I guess. And someone admits to her that they murdered someone. So it sounds really interesting, and it's especially interesting right now because actually there's on my course, I'm doing an MBA. This is like hard stuff, and I'm so like excited we actually have a guy with cerebral palsy on the course, and he is so smart. And I think that sometimes people overlook that. And so part of me is really excited about this headline, but part of me is also really, really nervous because I'm it can either go really well or really badly.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think it's either going to be like a knock it out of the park or really bad rep. And I hope that it went through like a lot of
or it goes through.
Yeah, a lot of sensitivity readers. I was trying to think of the word there for a second. So people who either have this or have dealt with it or something, so that it's pretty accurate. I don't want, we don't want more perpetrating of bad stereotypes. So I'm with you, but it's coming out in, I think it was what, 2017? 2018? One of those. It's not like, it's not next week. Yeah. So
I'm looking it up now.
We're looking forward to that. We're pretty excited, but we're also a little nervous.
Wow. That's soon. It's May 2017, so they don't have a lot of time to like fact check and sensitivity check that one. I really hope.
Well, they may have already done so. I don't know what the process has been.
Yeah, so it's coming. This is UK news, so this is coming out of Electric Monkey in May 2017. I really like Electric Monkey, so I'm hoping that they do well. I have a really cool bag from there somewhere. It's probably in the pile of Yolk stuff.
Our other news story for this week is that Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls, which is an illustrated children's book by Elena Favilli and Francesca Cavallo. Oh man, I butchered those. But it's reached over $1 million in crowdfunding money. So this book is telling 100 different stories of badass women across time. I think it said from Elizabeth I to Serena Williams or something like that. So it's all illustrated. But the really cool thing is that it's being crowdfunded, and it's reached over $1 million in crowdfunding money as of, I think it was like the beginning of this week. So it may even be, well, it's definitely more than that now. But so Danny and I thought this was pretty cool, not only because of what the topic of this book is, but also because, but also because it opens it up for more crowdfunding of these types of novels.
And yeah, I think I like the idea of crowdfunding because it means that books that people actually want to read are being published.
Right.
So sometimes I see books come out of publishers and I'm like, does anyone actually want to read this? Or was it just like filling a quota? Whilst this way, I think it's actually really good for publishers as well, because before they had to sort of trust that what they liked, other people would like. But if actually publishers can take advantage of the crowdfunding platform and say, here are books that we've screened. So maybe they screen and they choose 50 books, and then people can be like, these are the books we want to see published. And the more books that, or whatever books get the most that's almost like pre-ordering the book before it even comes out, or before it's even like worked on, shall we say.
You know who actually kind of does that though? Swoon Reads. Like they let you read manuscripts ahead of time, and then you can also choose covers. So maybe more publishers should be like Swoon Reads.
Yeah.
Shout out to Swoon Reads. If you're watching, like I would love an arc of these ruthless deeds. Just throwing that out.
Wow. Jamie. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Do we want to, I think you had another question for us.
Yeah, we have 2 more questions. Well, we have like 2 questions, but they're from the same person.
Okay.
So they're from, I'm so sorry. I already can see that I'm going to mess up your name, but it's from Karenissa Lewis, who's Karenissa M. Lewis on Twitter.
Karenissa.
Okay, I'm sorry. I did apologize ahead of time. I now know. I'm not going to say her name again, though. So she wants to know how we met, and then she wants to know how we balance what we have to read and what we want to read.
Okay. Should I talk about how we met, and you can talk about balancing?
Okay.
Or should we? Wait, should we do the balancing? What was it like when we looked at this question? What was our reaction? I think it kind of was summed up like this. No, we don't balance. We basically fill up our schedules, especially now that we have so many other things to do. I kind of want to just like hold up my to-do list for university and all of the stuff I have to read for next week. And you also have a ton to read. And yet we still want to read tons of books. So we have to just read. I have to prioritize. I know what reviews are coming up, and I have to prioritize the books that I have to review. But I have a review for Monday, and I haven't started reading that book.
I would also say, though, that what we've tried to do now more than what we did before is that we combine the two. We combine what we have to read with what we want to read. We're very selective about the books we choose from like advanced copies or review requests to make sure that we actually have an interest in them instead of just saying yes to anything. And like the books that we buy or have already owned that we're deciding, okay, these are like backlist books that we're going to review are ones that we actually want to read. Like we're not just picking up books on a whim saying, let's read this. We're trying to match the two. But yeah, we definitely, like we have a schedule. We plan out, well, I plan out and then remind Danny when things have to be read by. But so we I
have like a spreadsheet with all of my blogs on there, and I've color coded it so I know what reviews are coming up. So I should probably give you my review bit for What's Broken Between Us. I should probably write that review because that's for Monday as well.
It is for Monday, but you have some time.
Okay, so yeah, I know that.
Like the PS, the thing's already in like the BAMF calendar. All you'll have to do is just put it in there. Like
I know, but I need to like actually write my review.
Okay.
I'm really behind on that, but yeah. So like my problem before was that I would sign up for a lot of blog tours and I would sign up to do the reviews. Mm-hmm. I have stopped doing that unless I really want to read the book. Now I do more guest posts and interviews and so on because I still want to support these authors. But I just have to be realistic, and I know that I'm reading a lot of stuff for BAMF, so I try and limit what I have for the other ones.
How we met.
How we met.
So we actually met. We met on Twitter, obviously.
Yeah,
but we met. We met after we both had read and reviewed an early copy of Air Awakens by Elise Kova. We started chatting with her and some other people that had read early copies, and
she brought us together.
And yeah, I was gonna say that we just kind of clicked.
I think she like added us to a DM group or something to talk about it,
so that we didn't spoil, and we just kind of started our own little DM chat, and
we sort of
over a year later, here we are.
Over a year, and we're the best of friends, and we love each other so much, and we still haven't met. We're still divided by an ocean. Just to remind you guys, Jamie's in Canada. Like, what the hell is she doing in Canada? Or actually, no, better question, what the hell am I doing in the UK?
I was gonna say, like,
in Canada.
I have Justin Trudeau, so
I have, I don't even know her. I think it's Victoria May. I don't even know anymore. I think her last name is May. It was David Cameron, and we have UKIP and all other kinds of nonsense, but you're closer to Trump, so joke's on you.
He was in Michigan on Thursday, and I was also near Michigan, and I was like, please leave. I don't want you near me. And then he left, and I was like, I am a god. Okay, Danny, what's release number 2?
Release number 2. Okay, I have to find it. Release number 2. Okay. Oh, I really, 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 really want this book. And that is A Shadow Bright and Burning by Jessica Cluess. It's like Clues, but with an extra S. So, like, don't tell me that you aren't confused by that as well. And like I was saying, I really love fantasies. And this one has fantasy, and it has romance. I haven't read it, but I'm basing this all on the blurb, guys. Also, the cover. Oh, and I love fire. I love fire. If I had a power, I would fire.
This is my birthday present to myself, actually. I have this one pre-ordered as my birthday present to myself. The other birthday present I got for myself was the sticker for my car, but that wasn't as much fun. So this is my fun present to myself.
I'm just sad because they don't... Why? They're not... They're only, so it's pre-order for hardcover over here. Do you have paperback? Or do you just have hardcover?
We don't get paperbacks till like a year later.
Oh, that's bull. And there's no ebook. And like, I am a student. I cannot afford this.
Story of my life, Danny.
Especially after I bought you books and me books and me more books. And I should not be complaining because I buy myself so much stuff. I should just stop. But yeah, the cover is so pretty and it sounds really cool. There's fire and sorcery and there are multiple men. I'm like, yes, male harem.
I would enjoy a brood of men or women. Yep. Okay, wait. Wow, Daddy, that book sounds amazing.
Just like, wow, you're really selling that to me, Jamie.
Actually, I'm very excited. Like, this is one of the first 2016 debuts that I was like watching to pre-order sort of thing. Okay, so we have a couple reminders for next time before we sort of wrap up. So next Saturday, September 24th, same time, same place, another BAMFs Aloud. So we'll be doing almost everything exactly the same. But instead of giving you our top 5 release countdown, we're going to give you our top 5 reasons why you should read Stalking Jack the Ripper.
Which is this one.
It is that one. Very good, Danny.
Shut up. Suck, man.
If you like talking with us, you can join us tomorrow, Sunday, September 18th at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 6 p.m. UK time, to chat all about The Alchemist of Loom by Elise Kova under the hashtag LoomChat. Yes, LOOMCHAT.
Wow, so you're so like informative, teaching us how to spell.
We're both vicars. I'm the vicar of the Ribbits Guild. Danny's the vicar of the Alchemist Guild.
You sounded like you said ribbit, so I was like, are you a frog?
Ribbits Guild. So we would love it if you joined in on the fun. Okay. What else, Danny? Tell us about that last little bit.
And there's on the 25th, so next Sunday, is our BAMF chat. and we're going to be talking. Okay, so with BAMF Chat, we're talking about badass stuff every once a month. Next month, or next week, rather, this month is all about Harry Potter. So think about who are your favorite badass Harry Potter characters. What are your badass moments from Harry Potter? And come prepared because we are talking about it at this time, except on a Sunday. So I think it's 3 p.m. EDT.
Yeah.
8 p.m. British and 7 p.m. GMT. We're going to be talking under the hashtag BAMF Chat, BAMFCHAT. Oh, I can spell too. All about badasses in Harry Potter. Okay, so Jamie, new question format. I thought we would have a little bit of fun, and I would ask you a question. And every week I'm going to ask a would you rather question. And I actually want the audience, so guys watching, I really want you to tell me what you think as well, okay? So, would you rather have a large 10-inch long belly button that's swayed to music or have accordions for legs?
Can I tuck the belly button into my pants?
So basically, you'd just be a guy, except it would be a little bit higher.
Well, like, okay, would I have to have, like, a hole in my shirt so the belly button could stick out? Or, like, could I be able to tuck it in? Like, do I have to show it off?
And, like, I think also, if the music starts playing, it's just gonna, like, take on a life of its own and be like, woo!
I think I'd go with the accordions for legs.
Really? So, like, yeah, as you walked, it would be...
Yeah, my legs are already really short, and I don't walk that much, so...
You wouldn't be that noisy then. We would just be able to tell, like, when you go to the bathroom, I guess. Or walk to school. You'd be like the alarm clock of Windsor.
I would be the alarm clock of Windsor. Are you going to tell me what you would choose?
I think I'd go with the belly button. I think I'd be just so amused by my own belly button. I would just listen to music and like sit there. I'd be like, yeah, that's for me.
If we were together though, my legs would play music and your belly button would dance.
Oh my god, yes! We'd be like such a team. Oh, Phoenix, Alfie. Okay, Alfie. I'm just gonna call you Alfie. I'm not gonna call you Phoenix. Alfie. She would choose accordions for legs so that she could walk to the music. Yeah. You would have to like regulate your walking so that it sounded nice rather than just like honk, honk, honk. Like I've listened to accordions. My aunt went through a phase where she had accordions. At least it's not like
bagpipes for legs.
Or every time you sat down, like, what if your butt was a giant bagpipe? I mean, I guess it is a giant bagpipe.
Okay, I have to go. So, drum roll.
No, you don't. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. No.
Our #1 anticipated release for next week is
me.
Boop, 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 boop.
Shut up.
3 Dark Crowns by Kendare Blake. So,
and I have 3 dark copies.
Yes, because
I do.
Yes, I won a copy from the BBTC. Tonight's BBTC is about the female of the species, but I won a copy during that. I read it and sent it over to Danny so that we can review it on Friday the 20th for you guys.
But then my pre-orders came early, so actually, yeah, I have 2 pre-orders, and one of them I got for Jamie. So the Waterstones copies, they have special ones. So the normal one in shops has a rose crown over here in the UK, but you can get special ones from Waterstones pre-orders that have fire and a snake. So, based on what I was saying earlier, I bet you can probably guess which one is mine.
Also, I picked mine based on my favorite queen, Cat. But
Cat, a poisoner known to be resistant to the deadliest of snake bites.
Yes. So we review that on Friday the 20th for you guys, but it's a wonderful book. It's intricate look at the family relationships, magic, and what it means to really be a leader. And I loved it. And like, oh my gosh, Cat. And oh my gosh, that ending. And oh my gosh, Cat. And oh my gosh, that ending. And like, and I secretly want to buy all the copies and just hoard them so that I can love them. But then I want to share so that everybody else can read it.
Oh.
I know.
So I need to send you your copy because today, just in case you're checking in late, today is Jamie's birthday and she's gonna kill me. If we were like in the same place, she would have killed me by now because she
You would
hates
have duct tape
attention.
over your mouth.
She hates me doing this, but it's Jamie's birthday. Everyone go on Twitter, Books and Ladders, and wish her a happy birthday and make her feel awkward, please.
One final reminder that tomorrow is Loom Chat. Okay, goodbye.
Okay, fine. See ya. Bye.
Bye.